of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
All right, it is not just any Docking Bay 94. It's the start of our 14th year of Docking Bay 94.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy. You may have been listening to us on sci-fi.radio. That's where we are audio only. Sci-fi for your Wi-Fi, so you can tune in at that URL. Or you could watch us over at Facebook or Twitch or YouTube. Just look up Docking Bay 94 or DB94. That will all work. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
Just Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And thanks for tuning in. We got our start on a station that I think is long gone. We kind of got ghosted by it.
You got ghosted by an entire station.
We did, yeah. So since it's our anniversary, a little bit of history of Docking Bay 94, and Jeff can jump in and correct me if I get anything wrong. But someone that Jeff knew from back in the day, I think from working at Disney, approached Jeff and said, "Hey, I have a Star Trek station, but you like Star Wars, and we're starting a Star Wars station. You should be on it." And Jeff went, yeah, okay. And then he came to me and he said, "I don't want to do this alone. You should be there too." And I'm like, twist my arm, right? And that was it. That was like 13 years ago, and like 2012, I think. We had known each other for maybe a year at that point. Because we met in 2011 at Celebration. And so, gosh, we've been doing this for a really super long time. Colleen is here because Colleen, we had a succession of hosts over the years. We had Jedi Joe would come in and talk tech and video games. And back when we each took different departments, we had Andrew Clark for a while, Andrew Kin. And then Colleen would periodically jump in, and because she'd listen to the show out in the living room, and she'd come in and she's like, "I have an opinion on that," and which was great because otherwise it was just a bunch of dudes sitting around, and it was always good to get her opinion. And then eventually she just took over the chair.
It's my chair anyway, so
right.
That's right.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a reasonable amount of time. So this is technically season 14, if you want to count it by way of seasons. Episode 1. And if you ever look at our show and it doesn't make a lot of sense, the numbering system, whatever week it happens to be in the calendar from our day one is what we call it. So this is week 1. So it's S14 episode 01, E01. So it's weird, it's complicated. Yet here you are. So there we go. Hey, Sam is here. Sam Noble. The Lady A.
I see Lori.
Lori is here. Lara is here.
Yep.
Budala has popped in. You have a thumbs up for your lighting from Budala. Today.
Because it's still daytime here for another, I don't know, half hour or so. So that's what's hitting me mostly is the light coming in.
So
it's not directly, thank goodness.
You can see it on Colleen. She's got the window open too.
Yeah.
And I'm over here in the dark.
It's hot.
So I kept forgetting about the show. I would think about it.
True story. And
then I would forget about it because I was trying to get paint on my car for the parade tomorrow. And there are two things that like have kind of sapped my motivation. One is I'm not feeling particularly patriotic right now. And like, so
Or
I'm like,
healthy.
Yeah.
do I really
yeah.
want to go do this parade? And then the second thing is that I lost my voice, and
Yeah.
it's come and gone. Like it was really bad earlier, and now it's kind of presentable. But it's been coming and going,
Yeah,
and
you know.
so I've just been like, bleh. And so I thought I would paint my bumper after getting my car back from the repair
Okay.
shop. And the painting is not the problem. It's the taping is taking me forever. I kind of
Isn't
wish I had asked the shop to let me take the bumper when they got it and paint it off the car.
Oh.
Not that I did that the first time, but when I worked on my car, and so Jeff would come over with his car, and I'd work on my car,
Yeah.
and we would do these sort of tag team stuff and help each other out with stuff, and there was a plan to it. It's like I started in the back, and I worked towards the front, and so
Yeah.
it's harder doing just like one piece of the car as opposed to having
Well,
this
yeah.
workflow. So yeah, so I'm out there and I'm taping the heck out of it, and it'll be dark when we're done with the show. So I might get up really
Yeah.
early
Pretty much.
and paint it. But there's also part of me going, do I really need to do the parade this year? And like you're not coming out, Jeff, right, to do the parade?
Yeah. No, I won't be able to.
Yeah, and most of our Road Squadron people are down for the count. Their cars are down, or
Not
they're
gonna
down. Ray around the corner, who would normally do it, he had a operation, I think. So yeah, a lot of people are sort of down for the
Really?
count. So it would just be me.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's no like Rebel Legion and 501st.
No, they're here.
Oh, okay.
They're coming. And that's one of the arguments for doing it, is that we always make them look bigger when we do it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay.
it's been so weird that I just told the 501st to tell the parade people we were coming. It's like, we'll be
Yeah,
part of you
yeah.
guys. I just don't,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Hi, Don.
So-
Don popped in too.
Hey, all right.
Young Lee popped in too. And I don't know if you guys said hi to
Oh, see, there we go.
Chris when you said hi to Laura. And Kelly is here as well.
Oh, I didn't see Kelly.
Oh,
Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, yeah, okay. There we go. More people popped in.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Kelly
Yeah.
should be proud of me. I bought a piece of scrapbooking equipment. Kelly's like a master level scrapbooker, and I just got a corner cutter to cut some corners, because I make little replica Disney tickets and things like that, not for sale or anything, just for fun. And I'm doing a project for
Yeah.
Jeff that needs to have round corners, and so Michael's was out of them, and I had to order one, and so. And it's it is so much like a piece of scrapbooking equipment. You look at it, and it's obviously part of something from one company that like has all this stuff, and it's like it with my tools, it looks so out of place.
Hi to Vicky. And hi to MCAT
Vicky too.
Grouse.
Oh, hey.
All right, I think everybody should procrastinate
Holy
on
moly.
house chores, because tomorrow is the 4th of July, and unless you have people coming over, you're kind of off the hook. I think,
Yeah.
that's what I say.
Yeah.
But
I have no response to that.
anyway, yeah, it's been a punchy kind of day for sure. Jeff and I were at Disneyland last night, which was very fun.
Yeah.
And we had
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
we had great timing.
Oh, I know. Yeah, weird, huh?
We walked straight onto, with a 5-minute wait, the Pirates of the Caribbean,
Yeah.
and they have now gotten rid of their lightning lane, by the way. So there's no lightning lane to
Yeah, I saw
do,
that.
and so we walked right onto the boat, which was really bizarre.
Yeah.
It was a 13-minute wait for the Haunted Mansion, which basically equates to 0. If you ever see 13 on the sign for Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion, that means there's no wait. And that was
Yeah.
fun. And then I went into the courtyard of the
Yeah, boy,
the tiki room to look at the various tikis that are in there, the gods that are represented in the garden, because I hadn't seen them in a while, and I'd heard they kind of spruce them up. I thought that the tiki room was closed because it had been closed last time I was there, and so I thought it was down for maintenance. Turns out not to be the case. There was just nobody waiting, and Jeff and I and 4 other people were in the tiki room, which I have to say it's really funny to see it with so few people in there, because a lot of the jokes don't make sense, because the jokes are predicated on having a full house, basically standing up for a standing ovation, and marching out, and one of the guy talks about the bald guy underneath him, and there's nobody underneath you, dude.
Darling, people in the house sitting below me. I'm like, there's nobody there.
Yeah, they ain't nobody below you, man. Sorry, Fritz, you're out of luck. So that was pretty fun. Star Tours is closed for renovation, so that'll be down for a while.
I think our longest line was the train.
Yeah, that was our longest wait
line, really,
for
if you
anything.
think about it.
Just going on the train, that was the longest.
That was our longest wait, yeah. It really wasn't long. We just we stood there for a couple minutes till the next train pulled up and got on that second train.
Oh, no. I'll tell you what the longest thing we waited for was. I took Jeff over to the Princess Pavilion area to see the Rapunzel. There's like a statue of Rapunzel. It's basically her tower, and she's in it, and her hair is wrapped around it. And every 7 minutes, it is supposed to light up and play the music to her little song that makes her hair glow, and it makes her hair glow. Mm-hmm. And we waited, and other people waited, and other people came over going, "What are we waiting for?" There was like a whole crowd, and after about 10 minutes, we all kind of bailed out. And we're like, I don't think somebody flipped the switch today.
Something was wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't running. So
the longest wait wasn't like the parking lot or getting a snack or something like that.
No. We walked. We walked to the parking lot at the end of the night.
Yeah. The tram, I walked onto the tram when I got there, too. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
And parking wasn't awful. We were way in the back, but we were on goofy level. And we were way on the back in, the second row. So that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be really crowded, and it really wasn't. Although it was, I guess a lot of people were really trying to get to the shows. We saw the Perales family, Sal and his wife and kids. One of his kids got hired at Club 33.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she works there now, which is good.
Yeah.
And so we recognized Sal, and I am so glad that he pointed out his kids, because there's no freaking way I would have recognized his kids, because they used to come up to my elbow, and now they're like a foot taller than I am.
Yeah, I recognized them all, but it's just that they're so much older, so you have to sit for a second to see it all come back out, But it was still there. But it had been a long time since I'd seen them last. Probably before COVID or something. It's been a long time.
Well, and so I check in with them periodically on Facebook, but they're not trooping as much as they used to. They're not doing a lot of costume stuff. This whole family used to be like, they used to call them the Rebels family, because basically every member of the family played a member of the Rebels crew. And so, the daughter was Sabine, the son was Ezra, the husband
Axel
was
I
was going to say
Kanan,
thanks,
Kanan.
And then Hera, the wife plays Hera, which is really great. So, so they were amazing. So they would get called somewhere all the time to come be the family. And they had a pretty great relationship with the show and Lucasfilm. It was kind of neat.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so it was an entertaining night. I got 11,000 steps.
I feel like because of the way they've organized annual passes now, that summer weekdays are like the best days to go to Disneyland.
They probably are.
Because, yeah, it's crowded with people who are on vacation and kids are out of school, but it is not crowded with locals who just can't get in.
Right, and also they're the locals like to come on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday.
Yeah.
Which was the experience that we've always had with annual passes. So it's pretty much always been that way. And when they lowered the passes to $99, it was really tough because parents would drop their kids off at Disneyland. And Disneyland would become de facto babysitter for a lot of teenagers, which was crazy.
Was a rough time.
And then Saturday night was the night, depending on what you did. Like we used to go swing dancing a lot at Disneyland when the Princess Pavilion was Carnation Gardens. And we would... Saturday night was really hard to go swing dancing there because the cast members took it over. All the cast members would come in on Saturday night and they would completely take over the dance floor.
Oh, of course.
This was back in the 90s when Neo Swing was a thing, and Swing had this big resurgence in popularity. And then Sunday, Sunday it was better, and so we ended up going more on Sunday.
That was the place I'd go to get ice cream right next to there.
Carnation,
the quick ice cream over there was great.
I miss that they don't serve ice cream over there anymore.
I know. You can only go down on Main Street. And I miss that they had like a Fantasia flavor. That was actually really good. So, but gone.
Wasn't that like a sherbet?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to look it up.
But it was really good. I mean, it wasn't like, this is lemon. You know, it was
right.
It was really good.
Jeff and I did get a dessert last night. We didn't buy a lot of stuff yesterday, but we got when, of course, the Tiki Room lets you out into the Tahitian Terrace area over there, whatever they call it now, and
it's like Tropical Paradise, I think they're calling it.
Yeah, something like that. It'll always be Tahitian Terrace to me, and and so Jeff got a Dole Whip. You got a classic, right? Classic Dole Whip.
Yep.
And I got something that was called a pineapple upside down whip. And so I expected pineapple Dole Whip. That made sense. It had a cherry in it. Yeah. Had some other stuff. What I did not expect, and this is probably my own fault, I probably didn't read it correctly. It had cake in it. It actually had cake in it.
I mean, that would make sense.
You had cake in your Dole Whip?
Yeah, because it was pineapple upside down cake.
So, according to the internet, Fantasia ice cream from Disneyland is banana, cherry, and pistachio flavored ice cream. Kelly had said spumoni, I believe, in reference to this, and it's almost spumoni, but I don't think spumoni has any banana in it.
Right, close.
And the last time you could apparently get it was in August of 2019 at Gibson Girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of it completely. Dang it! So at least they moved it, but darn.
So maybe it's Spoonana.
Spoonana.
It's half spumoni, half banana.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, boing.
So did you guys do anything else?
No, we walked all of we walked all of downtown Disney. I had my magic band, so we set off the little displays that they had. Some of which were kind of hard to get going.
I always have that problem.
And the fortune tellers.
We did the fortune tellers.
Red and stuff,
Fortune Red and Esmeralda. And I dragged Jeff to all the magic band stations in the park. So we did Autopia, Tilly over at the cinema. Yeah. We did the ticket counter over in Frontierland.
What you guys didn't talk about, though, was the Orange County Zoo.
Right. That's okay. We just haven't got there.
We're going to get there. You know.
Well, you were just like listing each of the things that you did.
At Disneyland, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were still on Disneyland. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, the Orange County Zoo was pretty good as always. We had 4 cars on display. Dawn brought the Jedi Mobile down, which was cool. Jeff had his Ghost on display. I had the G-Wing, and Brent had his what is it called? The FJ Wolf on display, which is cool. He doesn't bring his out very often, but when he does, it's always kind of a treat. And so the zoo event was really nice. And we talked to Marcy, who usually organizes it, and sort of nudged her about getting us in there as Ghostbusters around Halloween, and that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
The sad thing.
So with any luck, that's where we're going.
The sad thing is they used to have 2 Jaguars, or as Marcy says, Jaguars. And one of them sadly passed away. It was like perfectly fine, everything was great, and then it had a cardiac event, and it passed away, which is very sad.
It was like was that some sort of thing that was like a news conference or something? Whatever she said, it was like
no.
Thing going on then.
I don't think it was a news conference. I think it was the
it was something.
Keeper. It was the Keeper talk. And so in different locations, they have these Keeper talks, and they put a little time up there. And when you show up at that time, they're like, we're going to feed the snake. We're going to feed the bear. I'll tell you about the animals we have in this enclosure. And so the person who was largely responsible for the Jaguars was giving a talk and showing off the Jaguar, and sadly it passed away. Like right there. It was... had a little cardiac event. So it was a very sad way to do it.
Yeah.
I've been corrected by Don. I keep calling his car the Jedi Mobile. It's the Jedi Transport.
There you go.
I should get everybody's car name right.
And I held a snake. So, it was Mayo. She's a guard snake.
Mayonnaise, yeah.
And, the little kids kept coming up, tons of them. So... I was like, hold you, pet him this way, very gently, this direction. Don't always hit you.
We had
spieling the kids.
We had 60 costumed characters there, which is a lot. And it is the
more.
I think it's the biggest event that they do at the zoo. I think it draws the largest crowd of people. It's become like an annual thing. And
totally.
But the thing about characters, Rebel Legion and 501st now bail out after 2 hours. So the event started at like 10. They left at 12, but the event went till 2. So it's
how long we stayed
with the cars. Yeah, we have a tendency to stay for the entire thing. So we had to always have a lot of fun there, and the zoo's really nice to us. And I have a friend, Colleen and I did, who passed away from who goes to Las Vegas and stuff, and he was a big collector of things, and so recently his wife Sherry and Tadao came over with Christian and brought some Star Wars stuff, and which she's just like, just get it to people. And so one of these things was a bin. It was like a tote that was full of cups from, and I don't see one. I've got one up here too, but I don't see it. From the old...
Like Burger King or something?
No, it was KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. So those 3, which are all owned by the same company, they each had Star Wars stuff to give away. And so like, I think Pizza Hut did the... Yeah. Well, I think each of them did the cups. I think they split them up over all 3 restaurants. But this was for the Phantom Menace, so it was $19.99. So there were these 25-year-old cups with toppers on them that had figures on them. So Darth Maul with a lightsaber and Jar Jar Binks with the tongue or whatever. And R2-D2 was the best one because his topper had legs, and the cup was the body, and that was pretty great. But anyway, so I thought, well, what am I going to do with these? And I'm like, I'll take them to the zoo and let's see if anybody wants them. And to my surprise, like I announced that they were in a bin and people could help themselves, and they flew out the door. Everybody's like, "Oh my God." And we're so excited to see these 25-year-old things, you know. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah. I was glad. I thought to take
try
them,
that with other stuff.
take them down there. Oh yeah. Well, you just need like a big event to do it.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And the items have to be
Let's see.
pretty good. So
Yeah. 2 more people joined. I can see Randy and Chris popped in. So
cool.
I'm not sure who else. If there's more. Yeah.
Are you looking for your
It was
cups?
really cool.
Yeah, I was looking for one. I thought I had one like right here, but they're different cups.
Yeah. The mountain. Yeah.
These ones.
And it's probably one of my
These are
favorite
more
things still at that zoo
recent.
are the 2 mountain lions that come over. They were able to go over the little bridge right over you. So
So one of the things the zoo did during COVID is they got a grant, and since nobody was allowed to come to the zoo, they basically created actual habitats, enclosures for their animals. Before that, it was kind of a rinky-dink little zoo because it is a rescue zoo. Every animal there is there because it's either endangered, it is injured, or has some limited capacity, or these were animals that should not be in private hands, and they were confiscated from people who were trying to like own a jaguar, things like that. So all of their animals there are like, they have adorable little owls and birds and things, but they'll have like one eye or one wing, or there would be something kooky about them. And so this work that they did to make these nice little enclosures was really pretty sweet. And when it's Star Wars Day, they decorate each of the animal enclosures with Star Wars items. And so, like, you'll walk up to a snake and it's wrapping itself around Grogu. The bears are tearing apart boxes that look like R2-D2.
Yeah. They had the porcupine, sitting inside the land speeder.
The land speeder. And the raccoon. They put the raccoon in the land speeder, too.
Yeah. Yeah. So cute.
But,
yeah,
not too shabby.
It's
anyway,
quite a bit,
what were you up to this week, Colleen?
Let's see. I stayed home from the zoo because I was sick. And then Sean came home and he was sick the next day. So, yeah.
I'm not sure I got what Colleen got. We both got a sore throat, but I lost my voice, which Colleen didn't do.
I had lost my voice like a little bit, but not anywhere near as much
This
as
has
you
been
did.
like a week for me. This is really crappy.
Yeah. But I felt sick from
Yikes.
Friday through maybe late Tuesday or early Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yesterday was the first day that I felt normal again and get back to doing stuff.
You worked on sewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. Okay, you guys, this is pretty funny.
Cool.
I said to Sean before he went to Disneyland, I said, well, I need to trace a pattern because I've been doing this for years because I'm cheap and I don't want to have to rebuy patterns, and also pattern companies discontinue patterns, but now more than ever because the big 4 pattern companies have gone bankrupt.
And Joann's is
and Joann's is
no
gone.
more.
Yeah, so it's like you're not going to be able to get Simplicity, Butterick, Vogue, and McCall's anymore. Because they went bankrupt. So I normally take my pattern pieces and I cut them into their individual pieces, just like around the very biggest size, and I tape them to the window, and then I tape a piece of tracing paper over it and I trace out the pattern, and then I carefully fold the pattern back up and put it away, and then I use the pattern that I traced in my size so I can cut it out and the pattern can still be used. So I needed to do this yesterday. And so Sean said, well, could you do that on a light box instead of at the window? And
which is what she's doing. She's using the window as a light box.
Yeah.
But, you either have to do it in the daylight with sun out there, or you have to have a light source out there lighting up the window to do it. And, of course, it's the window. So it's like, it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, we no longer have any windows that don't have stuff in front of them. So, furniture pieces. And so he goes out to the garage and is out there for a while. And then he comes in and he brings a light box. And I look at it and I say, did you just go out to the garage and get an X-ray reader? Like one of those when you go to the hospital and they've got the big thing and they go like that.
Oh, yeah.
The X-rays and it.
Yeah.
It has light behind it. That's what it is. He got it at some auction and it's been in our garage for who knows how long.
It's about 5 feet by 2 feet, and it has 4 different light up sections. And it's meant to put your X-rays in. And it's usually mounted to the wall in the hospital. But I buy a lot of stuff at auctions. And so I've had this for about 6 years. Easy. And I'll use it every once in a while for a project. But mostly it sits in the garage till I need it. And it's real medical equipment from a place that bought it and then never installed it. And I don't know. It was probably from some medical production. And they decided they didn't need it.
Maybe it was from Bones.
It could be from Bones. It could be from Grey's Anatomy. It could be from anything.
Yeah.
So I've had it out there. And in fact, it still has all the original plastic wrap and stuff on it. It's still in really nice shape. But I just thought that would work for Colleen.
It did.
But
my the people that I was Zooming with during my sewing circle were like, how do you have all that light coming? Where are you in your house that all this light is coming through a door that you're able to trace that against?
That's really funny.
Kind of funny. Yeah.
That's.
I had first I want to say, hey Liz, thank you. That's very sweet. Look at what she put in the Twitch chat. Also, Liz would know this person. It's it was Aubrey's grandfather, Harry, and he made me a light box long ago. That was 17 by whatever, So, but I don't know where it happened. I think it broke or something a long time ago, and we don't have it anymore. But yeah, he made one.
I got this because someone had given us a light box that was a cast off from someone else, and it was made out of wood. It was a wood box. Unpainted, unfinished. It had a frame with some plastic in it, and then it had some LED bars in it. And it looked like the kind of thing that you might put a poster in on the wall, but it was about, 4 inches deep. And it was nice, but it didn't last. So I put it in the garage, and it just sort of didn't hold together. The glue gave out and all of that kind of stuff. So I sort of picked this thing up because I think I paid $5 for this, and I think it came with other things from the auction, a bunch of signs or other medical equipment or something like that.
Yeah.
There was something else that I really wanted in there, and I thought that this would be a nice bonus.
Oh, see, yeah.
So there we go.
I don't know what box Liz got. She said got a box from Harry. That's Aubrey's grandfather, and Liz's grandfather was Harry. I don't know what box she got. So,
That's funny.
But it was
All right,
very.
should we move on to Star Wars? Is that the Star Wars?
Oh, hey there.
Noise?
It is not. No, it's just
That's the new Star Wars sound.
So when Jeff zooms in, I have to plug my computer into the soundboard, and so you get all my computer sounds. And so that was something my computer didn't like that I did. So you will also hear videos start from time to time, and if I go to check our feed on one of the services we stream on, you will hear a weird echo, and you will hear like Colleen talk over herself, or something. It's
my
like,
goodness. Okay.
yeah, it's weird. So
Okay.
it's the artifacts of Jeff zooming in.
Oh, good. Oh, she'll send me a picture. Thanks, Liz. Let's see what it is. Okay. It was. Let me go back here. We have four birthdays. Folks passed away related to Star Wars. We have June 28th, 1922 was when Eric Bauersfeld was born. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. He was the voice of Admiral Akbar and Bib Fortuna in Return of the Jedi.
Really?
Not a lot of other roles, but yeah, the voice of them. So, and they used him again for The Force Awakens. It says, and a video game of Star Wars X-Wing, he was Akbar. So apparently, it says uncredited, though.
Oh, well, that might have been
his voice, but he didn't have a lot of roles.
The uncredited often means that they have used pre-existing audio from the movie and just threw it in the game.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with his name. I know this next guy, though.
Yeah. And Eric only had like 6 credits that I could find. So, not a lot of acting credits. So, because I think it wasn't normally something he did. I don't think that was his regular job. Okay. That was him. The second one is July 2nd, 1927. That's when Brock Peters was born. From Star Wars. You'll know that he did the voice of Darth Vader in New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi for the radio dramas that were on like NPR, I think is.
Yeah, it was National Public Radio. And it was kind of funny that they cast him to do it.
Yeah. And then, of course, he has 136 credits besides that. So
he's done a lot of Star Trek stuff. So he did Star Trek 4 and 6 as the same character. Mm-hmm. He was in Soylent Green. He was Tom Robinson in To Kill a Mockingbird. He's got some really good credits under his belt. That's very cool.
Exactly.
But of course, he makes a pretty good Darth Vader, except for the one episode where he spends the entire episode torturing Princess Leia. I hate that episode.
That's a hard one. Yeah, that's a rough one.
And it gets super creepy when we learn later on that she's his daughter.
Yeah. Very weird. That's probably why they edited that out of the movie. No, plus the thing where another thing he did was he played. I'm not sure who he played because IMDb is screwy right now. I have no idea why, but he was in an episode of Battlestar Galactica in the 70s.
Oh, that's
doesn't
cool.
really tell me what. So
interesting.
Yeah.
He was not
let's
Boomer.
See here we have.
He was not Boomer.
No. You would think it would say if I go to Battlestar Galactica and scroll through it, it'll probably have who he is and who he played. But if you look at their normal profile, regular count,
no, it's kind of goofy.
Nothing except for the top.
He played. This is the character he played. It was Season 1, Episode 16, Murder on the Rising Star, Chief Opposer Solon. Yeah. That's the name of his character. So it means nothing to us.
Yeah. You're like, who? Yeah.
You got to go many levels deep now.
That one. Yeah, but huge. He had a lot more than just Star Wars, Star Trek, and stuff. So that's pretty cool. July 1st, 1935. David Prowse was born.
Oh,
physical
that guy.
embodiment of Darth Vader.
Yeah, Dave Prowse.
And 68. Actually, sure. 1, 2, 3. 66 probably other parts.
Well,
Yeah,
if you are in the UK, then you know him as the Green Cross Code Man, who was the superhero-like character who told you to look both ways before you cross the street. And despite being Darth Vader, it was the role of which Dave Prowse was proudest of.
Yeah,
was that?
of course. Man,
He
going
was-
his travels, he wouldn't even have to do any special effects. He's bigger than everybody.
Right. Well, and he was also in. If you want to see Dave Prowse as Dave Prowse, you can see him in A Clockwork Orange, where he's an assistant to a guy in a wheelchair. But of course, Clockwork Orange is a little grim and dystopian. But
Space 1999 and a whole bunch of Hammer horror.
he played Frankenstein multiple times in Hammer horror, which he's like the only guy to do that. So I thought that was kind of interesng. Space,
he's big and imposing, so.
Right. Space 1999. And one of the things, Dave Prowse was given the opportunity to take either Chewbacca or Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And he took Vader instantly. And George was like, no, mull it over. Think about it. And basically Dave Prowse looked at George and went, George, everyone remembers the bad guy.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yes, that was pretty good. And as a side note, Dave Prowse was a bodybuilder and winning championships at the time that Lou Ferrigno and Arnold Schwarzenegger were coming up through bodybuilding. And so they all knew each other. They all kind of hung out each other. Friendly competition. And then when Christopher Reeve was cast as Superman, and they were shooting in England, Dave Prowse helped Chris Reeve work out and get into Superman shape.
Superman shape.
That's right. I keep joking that I want a job in a Marvel movie just so that they, someone will make me get into that kind of shape. It'll be my job.
That's how it works.
Right. And then Dave Prowse was also in Doctor Who in season 9 back in 1972 as the Minotaur.
Oh, okay.
In The Time Monster. Oh. Yeah, Dave had a really good career.
Awesome. No, so he was, He was a busy fella, He just, which is instead of just like, I'm just Vader.
Well, and he loved his fans. He loved being the honorary head of the 501st. He absolutely adored that. And, just he would just like walk in and own the 501st guys, which was like really great. And he used to travel a lot for conventions, like right up to the very end when he finally made an announcement saying he wasn't going to fly anymore. I think it was just too much trouble for him to do. Because one of the problems with being a big guy like that and having done all that bodybuilding and stuff is it took a toll on his body.
Oh, I just noticed he was in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy too.
As who?
One of the TV show. I'm not sure.
Let me look.
Gosh, because it's the BBC version, obviously, but I'm not sure who he played.
I'll tell you real quick. But only if this will cooperate with me.
If it cooperates, yeah.
I really hate the changes they have made to IMDb. All right.
Bodyguard.
Oh, maybe he was a bodyguard. Oh, he was. He was the bodyguard for Hot Black Desiato, who was the guy who was playing he was playing dead for tax reasons.
Okay.
He's in a very dapper pinstripe suit.
Oh my gosh.
That's very cool.
Oh, look at that. Hey, thanks, Liz. Cool. Liz gifted a subscription to Rose, who is Fox Rojo, for the show.
Oh, Wow, thanks, Liz.
So that's really awesome.
You're
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, it's our first
Hey,
anniversary
Eric.
present.
Eric's listening now too. Yeah. Yeah. First show of the 14th year. Holy guacamole.
Right, and we got an anniversary present.
Yeah. Let's see. I have to. Oh, the next one. I'm sorry. Next one up is going to be. Last of the birthdays is June 29th, 1949. That's when Greg Burson was born. Primarily known for he did voices for the games, not necessarily the Star Wars films. So it was like his boss Nass. So he was like for the games, and some Gungan and such. But like Jedi Power Battles and Jar Jar's Journey and whatever
He has
little games.
one role. He's done a lot of stuff. He has one role that is really awesome, which is in Jurassic Park. He is Mr. DNA.
Yep. Dinosaur.
Right. That's very cool. But and
Animaniacs too. How about that? So a lot of really good roles. Holy man!
For someone who does
really
cartoon voices, he has relatively few of them.
He does?
Yeah.
Smurfs.
I only see
Quest,
57.
Wookie.
57 is nothing for a voiceover guy.
Well,
Yeah.
You'd think. But, maybe you just did that guy lots of times. I don't know.
You're right. Maybe. He's
something like Yogi Bear's show. He did 45 episodes, and I don't know which one he did, but he did 45 episodes of that.
Well, and he was Bugs Bunny from time to time.
Yeah.
He was in the new Yogi Bear show as Yogi Bear.
Yeah. Yeah, he was Yogi. Okay. Aha. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So there you go. That was the end of all the birthdays. I am on to regular history. That would be July 2nd, 1976. We have Charles Lippincott, and he showed the first public slideshow for Star Wars at WesterCon.
Our friend...
That's the one where they're all wearing these nice tight T-shirts.
Right, the yellow ones. Our friend Craig Miller worked with Charlie on that whole promotion. And getting Star Wars into conventions was really unusual. It was kind of a big deal. I will say that I give Star Wars credit for kind of ruining comic book conventions, just in the sense that everybody had to bring their movies there, and it's hard to find the comics and that kind of thing. Much as I love Star Wars. But, WesterCon... WesterCon and Worldcon are a different kind of convention, though. They're not like San Diego Comic-Con. They're much smaller.
Yeah, because Comic-Con didn't really become squirrely until like after the 90s.
Yeah, but it started with Star Wars. Like, people went, we can take our movies there and promote our movies? Oh, my God. So,
well,
I mean, Jaws wasn't going to the comic book convention.
Yeah. What's we got here? In June 28th, 1978 is when they had a screen test for Boba Fett when he was in the white armor.
Excellent.
Yes.
It's and
the next one, yes.
I'm gonna run and get something. Hang on.
Okay.
There he goes.
Is it Boba Fett in white armor?
I have no idea what it is. Is it candy?
I know they did a parade when they created the costume. So they actually, there was a parade, and he walked in the white outfit in the parade.
Oh, okay.
I think with like someone else in the Vader suit, but they walked in a parade with that.
It was a really interesting thing. The parade was in not Petaluma, but where George lives now.
Oh yeah.
We drove down that parade route, in fact.
Yeah.
Which was really kind of interesting. And but when they first put the costume on a person, they didn't really know how to put it on. And so Boba Fett has these braided Wookiee pelts that hang over his arm, but the guy didn't know that, so he put him around his head and let him hang out the helmet. So he had these like pigtail braids hanging out of his helmet, which I thought was really kind of funny. It's like, because if nobody tells you, you're like, oh, it's hair. It's got to come out of the helmet, I guess. Very Predator.
Like,
but did
look at
somebody
the concept
catch
art,
that
guys? Look at the concept art.
Before it was on film?
Oh yeah, okay. Completely. Well, no, it basically he walked out from the test fitting, and they went, yeah, that's not how that goes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And this was before the costume was even painted. So he was originally a white commando armor thing, like a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. The last one is something I wanted to see if I can find it. I don't have a copy of it yet. I would like to get these. I don't know how many volumes they did, but they did do this. Dark Horse reprinted back in July 3rd, 2012 came out. The original Star Wars comics.
Right.
And there's the comics, and they also did, and this may not be the same, but they also did the comic strips. Like they reprinted the comic strips in a book, in a big old trade paperback form too. That's the one I want to get.
I remember those. And those are pretty great. Those are the Al Williamson ones, I think. And I would love to have a book that collected all of those, because they used to run them in the LA Times here in Los Angeles. The thing,
it's like Store Near Me used to have them. Yeah.
The Marvel comic books came out before the movie did, but just a little bit. And when I was a kid, they had them in like Kmart had them on a rack and things like that. And I mentioned our friend Tony, who passed away, and some of his Star Wars stuff has come to me. And one of the coolest things that I absolutely adored as a kid was in his box of stuff, which was this. I'm gonna go to like a zoom in thing here. So the regular size of a comic book is about like this big, right? And Star Wars was originally printed in 6 comic books. But the one that I liked, because I was blind as a bat as a kid, I couldn't see anything very well, and reading regular comic books was a little difficult for me. They had this. This is a super special. It is like 2/3 again as big as a regular comic book. It is absolutely gigantic. And it's the whole Star Wars story in the whole book. And I was so excited to see this. So this is basically a comic book like open. It's that size, which is really funny. And it was just so amazingly cool to see this. First off, and they're not worth much. If you look them up, they're like, $25. But to see one in like perfect shape come here, it was just so cool to do it. And so they have all these 6 comics jammed into this one. It was just really neat. And so that this news item reminded me of that, because it was this was just like such a thing that I loved. I had Batman comics in this scale too. And things. And it was one of those things that I sort of thought I'd never see again. And it was really neat to find. So I thought it was cool. There's something about those original Marvel comics that are really fun.
Yeah, I mean, the one I want to get is the comic strip that they collected. They like some of the I think it was Dark Horse. No, Marvel did it too, but so Marvel did it later, but they collected all the comics into book form, like all the comic strips.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So,
$43 on Amazon. It's called Star Wars: The Classic Newspaper Comics, but I'll warn you, it's Archie Goodwin and Al Williamson. Archie Goodwin wrote it. Al Williamson illustrated it, and he's amazing. By the way, Al Williamson is just freaking amazing. There are more than one volume. There's like 3 or
There's
5 or
3 or 4.
Yeah, it's like wow. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's pretty dang cool.
I would definitely love those. It would be pretty great. But it looks like they're
I will
about
pick them up as soon as we can.
$50 a pop.
Yeah. The Bookman place that's here in Orange that it switched to a newer location years ago. They had them, and so I'll check back there again, see if they got them in again or if they still have them.
That's cool.
But they had some, so I was like, oh, I want that so much. Yeah.
I think there's a Bookman in the Del Amo Mall too.
Book Off.
Wow.
Oh, maybe I'm confused.
I think it's called Book Off.
Yeah.
So.
It sounds like a threat.
Oh, sorry, I'm still on this other screen.
Yeah.
There we go. There's
the
us.
Giant Sean
Pose
screen.
in the-
Giant Sean screen. Ah.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Hey, Popo.
That's pretty funny.
Posed in the room with me, so and he has stinky dog breath.
Yeah, talking to Lizzie. Yeah, I like lots of stuff, and so I'm really funny.
Yeah.
I can't see farther than about 3 feet, and so I have lots of stuff on the shelf. And every time I walk up to the shelf, I'm like, oh, I love this thing. It's really cool. And then like from across the room, I can't even see it, that it's there. So yeah, like looking at my shelves for me is like it's like a little treasure hunt, because I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But they are messy for sure.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Very
It's a lot
funny.
there.
All right. So are we finished with that topic?
Yes.
I think we
Yep.
are.
So do you guys
Yep.
want to talk about Mark Hamill revealing an unused tragic backstory for Luke?
I do, because it's a little bit misleading.
Shocking.
Right. Mark Hamill was on an interview show, like a podcast or something. Oh, actually, it was an NPR show, which is called Bullseye,
Really?
with Jesse Thorne. Yeah.
Which
So,
isn't even like the news.
yeah, it's like a podcast kind of a deal. It's conversation stuff. So Mark Hamill wasn't exactly thrilled with Luke's disposition. And we've known that for years, where he basically he's like, why is Luke on this island? I don't understand. This is kind of crazy. But he said, Ryan Johnson was a director, and he told Ryan Johnson, he said, look, this is your story. This is what you want to tell. I'm here for it. Whether I agree with it or not, I'm going to give you the best performance I can give you. And because that's my job as an actor, as a professional actor. So you tell me what you want. I'll make sure you get it. Even though I think Luke should have ended up with a different way. And he also didn't think that that Luke should be like all alone on this island. So he said he decided he would come up with his own tragic backstory, which would give Luke the motivation to give up on the Force, to go be a hermit on this island, all of that kind of thing. And to back this up, so he says, I thought, what could make someone give up a devotion to what is basically a religious entity, to give up being a Jedi?
Yeah.
Well, the love of a woman. So he falls in love with a woman. He gives up being a Jedi. They have a child together. At some point, the child, as a toddler, picks up an unattended lightsaber, pushes the button, and is killed instantly.
Oh, that's awful.
The wife is so full of grief, she kills herself.
Oh my god.
And of course, this is not canon. This is Mark's headcanon. This is not in the film. Whatever.
His headcanon is awful.
It's terrible, right? But I want to
Great towel.
I want to point something out, that when we first meet Luke in episode 7, he's wearing what I call his formal Jedi costume. It's the clothing he wears to meditate in. And you'll see him in episode 8. He takes it off, he puts it on a hanger, he puts it in a he puts it away nicely, and he keeps it nice. And it's not the thing he tools around the island in general. He's got work clothes for that. But this is his nice suit. And so he's in that when he meets Rey. And we see him standing alone, and there's a couple of things there by him that kind of look like they're tombstones. They kind of look like they're gravestones. And so if you take his little story in mind and you look at that scene, it does kind of match up whether Rian Johnson wanted it to or not. So Mark Hamill said this.
Yeah, here lies Mara Jade.
Probably not Mara Jade. So Mark said this. He says, Ryan, he's talking to Rian Johnson. Ryan, I saw entire planets get wiped out. If anything, Luke doubles down, and it hardens his resolve in the face of adversity. Despite this, Mark said he probably just should have been quiet about his concerns and doubts and unhappiness with it, because it basically it caused issues where the internet went crazy. Mark Hamill hates Luke Skywalker now. Blah blah blah. It was like really messy.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calm your jets.
And that was it. And of course, the other thing that came out of this was he has said recently that he's probably not going to come back for Luke Skywalker because he has nothing to do. He's older now.
No,
there's no other real reason for him to come back. And so people are freaking out about, Mark Hamill says he won't ever return to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, it's because there's probably no reason for him to. So
it would be silly for him to come back.
Right. I mean, unless he's a Force ghost for Rey or something, there is no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, and so
that would work,
I don't.
Maybe he'll be a Force ghost for Finn.
Hey, that would be cool. He's like, hey Finn, do you know you have the Force?
Well, I mean, he does, doesn't he?
Oh wow.
I thought we knew that Finn did have the Force, and it was just that we were focused on.
Yeah, he just never got a.
Yeah, we don't know.
He never got a chance to tell Rey. That's what he was supposed to tell her. Apparently.
We don't know that that's what he was going to tell her, but that's what we're guessing, is that he too felt the Force. Because the thing is that
didn't they make the point that lots of people have the Force and it's not just the family when they showed those little kids?
Rian Johnson did, where at the end of his movie episode 8, he had what they call Broom Boy, which is the kid with the broom who used the Force to grab the broom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the point was that there was all sorts of other people who had the Force too.
I think Rey has. Not Rey. Finn. I think Finn has the Force.
So hello. Okay, I was going to bring up that hello to Lord Greytell. That's a new person, and Matrimony Live, which I know the person that person that's Ren, subscribed.
Yay!
Oh wow!
To the show.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Prime. So yes,
woohoo!
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You guys are awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I was hoping because
past the top of the hour
that would get something more with Finn. So who knows?
Yeah, we did. Let me jump in here because it is past the top of the hour. You are listening to this show over at sci-fi.radio. Sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. That's URL. Yes. Type in sci-fi.radio. We have nerd news stories up there that you can check out, written by humans for humans. We have a complete schedule up there because the radio station that we are on, that we do this show on, and I do my morning show from 9 to 11 every morning Pacific time.
Yeah.
That station runs 24/7, and it runs internationally because it's on the internet. So go check it out. We're grateful if you listen to us over there. And then if you are watching us, you were probably doing so over at YouTube or Twitch or on Facebook. Any of those are very cool. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
Yeah. Just so Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And behind the scenes is Boba-Kit Sovine, who does our show control document and puts all the articles that we throw up there during the week in a nice, mostly organized fashion.
Right, but she had to work today.
Yeah.
Busy day for her.
Yes.
See now I know why Rose said hello, Eric. I thought she was talking to Mr. Gerd, Eric Gerd, but actually that's who Lord Greytail is. It's Eric who lives next door with the rest of
right on.
Yeah. So that's Eric. Cool beats.
And apparently we have a lord and a lady listening.
Right. Lady A. Lord Greytowel sounds like a Douglas Adams character to me.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yes.
Moving on to theme parks. About 2 months ago, they moved everything out of the Haunted Mansion shop that was over by Pirates of the Caribbean and turned it into a little dining area for the patio restaurant that's right there that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head.
The shop was called the Port Royale Curios and Curiosities shop.
But what was the restaurant?
The restaurant
the window
is the Royal Street Veranda.
Yeah.
And it's the window that you get the bread bowls with chowder in. Now they have a mini Monte Cristo sandwich there and things like that. And they turned it into a little speakeasy. Jeff and I went to check it out. Judy and I, my friend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, my friend Judy and I sat there for a little while and used it for its intended purpose, and charged our phones and had a little snack and that kind of thing. It was nice. I liked it, but it wasn't very crowded, and I think a lot of people never realized it was there. And now it's not. Now Jeff and I went to look at it last night, and it was all blacked out.
Yeah,
they hadn't turned it back into a shop. You could see
some of the shelves
yet.
and stuff behind the black paper.
The shop wasn't ready yet, so they were working on it. So they had blacked out all of the windows in it. Jeff managed to peek around and see some like T-shirt racks and stuff.
Yeah,
because he's taller than
me. yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But anyway, it didn't last very long, and I wonder. I think it's interesting. They must have just tried it, decided people weren't using it, and then axed it quickly.
Yeah, they didn't tell anyone it was there. It was just open one day. Guess what?
I think they even changed the signing to Port Royale Jazz Club. And they put posters on the wall. They covered up a lot of the Haunted Mansion kind of stuff in there to make it more jazz clubby. And they had like a fake bar. I mean, it was nice. It was not bad.
Yeah.
But I guess Disney's impatient. Because 2 months is like not much of a test.
I think it's really like definitely that, and plus the fact they really didn't say anything about it. They didn't promote it. They didn't tell anyone that it was even there until you like walk past it, or we talked about it on the show, but it wasn't really promoted. It was more like
right
here it is. Bye.
Well, you just happened on it. Because, like, I always used to pop into that store. And when you walk over to go to the store and you realize it's not a store anymore, you're like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this was just always meant to be a temporary thing, they threw a little bit of money at it to make that happen.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised that it was such a short lifespan.
Yeah. What a drag.
Disney Park Blogs has announced the Haunted Mansion collection for 2025. And the items are apparently starting to show up in the park and the stores.
So yesterday we saw, and Jeff and I had a heck of a time trying to figure out what the heck the price on this thing was. We saw a thing that was a little shoulder character.
Which is funny because the shoulder character isn't in this article.
It's not, which is why I'm digging up the picture for it right now. Because I sent them to Colleen yesterday. So I like these little shoulder characters. I've got a couple of them. I think they're really fun.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that I'm kind of picky about them because sometimes they're cool and sometimes they're kind of a little dopey. And this one for me lands a little bit on the dopey side of things.
It did look kind of dopey.
So this is it, and it is a the gargoyle that's in the stretching room. It has 2 little candles in its arms that light up, so you can't really tell, but they're actually lit up in this picture. And here, sorry, I'm trying to get a bigger picture. And so,
I think, much like with the crow, his eyes light up. So, yeah.
Right. So, but instead, in this case, it's the candles, and you can see that they're lighting up a little bit in my camera blur. Yeah. So, this is $35 or $32.
Yeah.
And there's another thing that they sell that's a metal water bottle with the Haunted Mansion pattern on it that has a topper of the gargoyle. That is this one. And so this is $35. There's like a $2 difference between the two. I think this should be a shoulder character. I think this is awesome. It's rubber. It's a little rubber squishy guy. And I'm like, for the same price, you get a really awesome bottle with the Haunted Mansion wallpaper on it and this cool rubber guy as a removable cap. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sold on this guy. I'm sure we'll see him all over the place, but I feel like they could have done a little better. There are so many.
He's a little more cartoony.
He looks like a washcloth.
He does. He's like terry cloth or something.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Weird.
It's like if you have a spill, you've got a little sponge to soak up your spill with.
The item that I like best in what they did show in the Disney Parks blog is actually they have these stretching room ornaments, and they've got little glass encased stretching room 3D figures. They look like they're pretty cool. I can't see them very well. They're a pretty small little thing.
Well, let me see if I can zoom in on them or something. But so these are sweatshirts and backpacks. There's like a maid backpack.
The tiki mugs are kind of cool.
Kind of cute.
Like little miniature bell jars over them.
So lots of spirit jerseys. There's a purple wallpaper dress, which is a little cute. They've had a black one in the past.
I like the little mugs of the Hitchhiking Ghost, though. Those are cool. Neat. They look more like a tiki sort of look to them. Yeah,
so these pictures are really funny. This is the Disney Parks blog, so this is their official site. And it's funny to see, like, so they're highlighting here the Constance Hatchaway plush, and she's tiny in the picture.
Yeah, you can't see her. She's also half fuzzed out by some dry ice they've got sitting there. Right.
It's just really, I mean, I'm sure this is just supposed to tease you, but it's weird. The library bookends are kind of cute. This is the Doom Buggy Fright Light. This is like a night light, I guess. These are the mugs, the Hitchhiking Ghost mugs that Jeff was talking about. Can I zoom in? I cannot.
They look kind of cool. I like them.
Hang on a second. Let me see. Aha! There you go. There's a zoom of the mugs.
Yeah. Aha! All right.
And
they're really cool. I like them. They look kind of a little cartoony, but I like them.
They're really fun. I assume they come in a set. Buying them independently would be a drag. So that's cool. These stretching ornaments, is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, I just think they're kind of cool. I don't know if they're actually good or not because, I can't see them.
I believe I have seen these already in the park.
Okay.
I think these have been around because they do something really unusual that drew my attention to them, which is the tightrope walker's umbrella is outside the capsule.
I see that.
So all the rest of them have a bat stanchion at the top, and then she's got a loop because her umbrella is sticking out the top. And I found that to be a strange choice, but
that is a strange
I'm pretty
choice.
sure I have already seen these in the store.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I would want them. I just thought they looked kind of cool.
They are.
But,
They're neat.
Yeah.
Dooney and Burke. Rengaschen de Fur de Dooney and de Burke.
Bork.
Build your own Haunted Mansion headband. Disney's getting really into customizable stuff. You can customize your own bubble wands now, and they're doing a lot of these build your own headband things.
Yeah.
And that looks like it for the Haunted Mansion.
Just go right out there. You know.
And our final theme park item is about a frivolous lawsuit.
This is so dumb.
Super dumb. In Florida, in Galaxy's Edge, some parents were not closely monitoring their child.
Which is the key phrase, by the way.
Yeah, a stormtrooper, I don't know, walked by or said hello or something like that. And the child flipped out and the child was sitting in a stroller without an adult nearby. Why is someone in a stroller not having an adult nearby?
Unattended child.
And a performer dressed as one of the roaming stormtroopers approached him. The situation frightened the child, leading him to try to move away, causing the stroller to flip over. And
Good grief.
yeah, so they're suing Disney, and I think they're suing the employee.
They're suing the stroller manufacturer.
And the stroller manufacturer, yes.
Which is Safe Mark Systems. And this happened in December of 2023.
They're saying that they're suing Disney for negligence in training, supervision, and control of its employees in the interaction and approach of its characters with guests and children at the park. Basically, it sounds like somebody who's looking for some deep pockets to me.
Right. And can I just...
It takes a couple of years to get the right ambulance chaser.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it could be like the McDonald's situation where everybody made fun of the woman, but she really did. It was when she got burned by the coffee in her lap.
Right.
It really was an issue of
and she had
boiling
a legitimate path. She took it to court.
Yeah.
She won the case, and she donated the money to charity.
But people remember that as her being ridiculous.
Yes.
Because that was the spin that
but
McDonald's put on it, apparently.
The problem that I have with this is that they weren't watching their own kid.
Yeah.
If they had been there and were holding on to the stroller and the kid launched themselves out of the stroller because they were so freaked out. I've seen kids get freaked out at Disneyland before. How many kids have you seen run away from Mickey Mouse? I mean, all the time, right?
Yep, I know a kid that did.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there's
youngin'.
also a lawsuit against Disney World for
That's
Blizzard
Florida
Beach.
Say that again, Colleen.
At Blizzard Beach, there was a man who fell off his inner tube, and because he exceeded the slide's weight limit.
Oh.
However,
oh dear,
there's no weight limits posted on any of the slides at Blizzard Beach.
Is
so
there
that is another lawsuit.
Actually a weight limit, or he was just too large for the ride?
The article says that there is a weight limit.
Okay.
But that it's not posted anywhere, so how is anybody supposed to know what it is?
Yeah.
That's
well, this is the United States. We're all big here, right?
That's weird. Well, and I fell off inner tubes at Blizzard Beach. It can't be that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey there, Bird Boy 13. I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. Who could that be?
Another neighbor. Who are you growling at? Okay, it's better.
The only attraction at Blizzard Beach with a posted weight limit is the chairlift, which has a limit of 375 pounds. There is nothing else that indicates there is actually any weight limit for any of the other things.
I don't know who's claiming that the slide has a weight limit of 300 pounds. It is either Disney's saying that, or it's being said by the guy who's suing them, who weighs 334 pounds, or did at the time. And he became momentarily airborne as a result of the slide, and his inner tube became dislodged. He landed on the surface of the slide, and he said he suffers from permanent catastrophic injuries which are not disclosed.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been to a lot of water parks. You're always getting airborne and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. You know, I mean, people.
Depends.
I remember what was the name of the park in New Jersey? Adventureland or something like that. That was like people were always getting clobbered out.
Action Park.
Action Park. That was it. And that place was legitimately dangerous. Disney is usually pretty on top of stuff, and you know, it. Look, if the guy has documentation and he's legitimately hurt, then he should get help for sure. But you know, people are always getting banged around at water parks. That's the nature of water parks.
Yeah.
So it's
Hey,
weird.
Liz, thank you again.
Weird.
All right, so let us move
Liz
along
gifted another one.
to...
Jeepers, Liz.
Ugh.
I'm gonna go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Sean, do you want to take the rest in peace section? And I would like to say something that
dear.
I noticed about this week's list.
Yes.
I am delighted to see that there aren't people on it that are terribly unreasonably young.
Right.
That you feel really badly.
Yes.
Like there is one person who is under 70, but at least there aren't people who are like, you know, in their 30s this week.
Right. Which is
Yay.
crazy. You might be familiar with TV journalist Bill Moyers. He was a White House press secretary back in the day. He has passed away at the age of 91. He's done all sorts of incredible interviews with people over the years. And in fact, I think he had a really great series of interviews with George Lucas over Joseph Campbell, which were really interesting. And they were all released on video. I think they showed them on PBS and stuff. And so Bill Moyers like got really deep into it with George Lucas. They like rolled up their sleeves and started talking about all of his influences and stuff, and how he was inspired by The Hero with a Thousand Faces by John Campbell and Joseph Campbell. And I think he also did a series of interviews with him. Bill Moyers did. So I mean, he was a nerd at heart, which is really cool. When he was working as the White House press secretary, he did that for the Lyndon Johnson administration. And he started as a Baptist minister and then made his way to journalism instead, and did just amazing stuff for PBS. Covered the Iran-Contra scandal for Reagan, and he wasn't really fond of the talking head variety of television, but he was just so good at it and created such interesting stuff, and would push back just enough to the people in power. Just an exemplary career as a journalist, and if you grew up in a certain time, he was always on television. Very sad to hear of his passing. Rick Hurst passed away at the age of 79. He was a actor who was Cletus Hogg in The Dukes of Hazzard, and Ben Jones, who he co-starred with on the show as Cooter, posted up his passing. Ben Jones runs a Dukes of Hazzard museum, which is really pretty funny. And he was largely considered to be like just the super nice guy of the show. Everybody loved him, super friendly face. Look him up. and you'll go, oh my gosh, it's that guy. So sad to hear of his recent passing. Televangelist Jimmy Swaggart passed away at the age of 90. He was one of those fire and brimstone preacher features on television who basically got taken down because he wasn't exactly practicing what he preached. He had some issue with hiring ladies of the night, and that his flock didn't exactly take to that, so it was kind of crazy. But he was a Pentecostal preacher who was absolutely huge, but had to resign from absolutely everything. He had to go to rehabilitation, and he was censured by the religious community. It was kind of crazy, especially because he was just ubiquitous. I was very much. I had a pretty strict religious upbringing, and he was like a staple of that, and it was like so bizarre, and then, but also not surprising, because you always hear that it's, you know, the religious guys who are causing trouble. Jim Shooter, aka Big Jim Shooter, passed away at the age of 73, which is a little bit young, but he started writing for DC comic books when he was just 14 years old. And he was basically in the sort of like Bronze Age of comics. He ran Marvel for a while. He started his own company, which was, I think, Image. Was it Image Comics? What was the brand that he started?
Valiant?
Valiant, that was it.
Valiant?
Thank you. Yeah, and so I made some costume pieces for him back in the day, and Jim Shooter had this thing that was really funny, where like you would meet him, and he was a big guy. He was like a presence, and you would talk to him like, okay, Jim Shooter, blah blah blah, whatever, and then later on you would go, oh, that Jim Shooter. You would go, oh my God, he was like this super comic book guy. Anyway, he has just a long history with comic books, and he worked on every character that you like for DC. And Marv Wolfman coaxed him away from DC to Marvel, which is really funny, because he didn't mesh with the DC guys as well. The DC was often referred to by other comic companies as the distinguished competition. It was a nice way of saying DC. And so he left the distinguished competition. Went over there. Anyway, if you like comics, you already know who Jim Shooter is. Kenneth Cawley passed away at the age of 87. I hadn't heard that. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi as Captain, then Admiral Piet. He was a really great guy to talk to at conventions. Super sweet man. And a character actor who played so many different things. If you're a Monty Python fan, he played Jesus in The Life of Brian. He did stuff with Ken Russell. He played Shakespeare roles for the BBC. And unfortunately, he succumbed to COVID. He injured his arm after a fall, and then he took COVID, which took pneumonia. And anyway, he came back for Admiral Piet to do the Lego Star Wars Empire Strikes Back stuff, which was really great. So he was in Firefox, if you remember Clint Eastwood's movie. Did all sorts of great stuff. Just a nice man to talk to at conventions. I did not know he was on our past list today. Makes me sad. And at the age of 67, Michael Madsen, who was in Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill, collected a bunch of stuff, and he was found unresponsive at his home with no foul play suspected. But he'd been pretty busy in recent years. But he was in The Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. His handprints are in front of the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, and he said this. He said, "I could have been a bricklayer. I could have been an architect. I could have been a garbage man. I could have been nothing, but I got lucky. I got lucky as an actor." So and he is
also in Species.
Oh yeah,
the first one.
Yeah, if you look at his face, he's another one of those guys that you're like, oh, I know that dude. His sister is Virginia Madsen, and
okay.
So,
oh man,
family connection there. Sad to hear.
Do you gentlemen want to do a Disneyland trivia quiz, or do you want to save that for another time?
Always up for failing.
Always up for failing. That's that's pretty funny. I could I could do a quiz, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
It's all quiet. I need a quiz button.
Yeah.
Get Donoho staples.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 questions. When Indiana Jones' Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye opened in 1995, the queue was decorated with numerous series of symbols that guests were able to decode with a special card, making it one of the first interactive queue games in a Disney park. What is the name of the ancient alphabet?
Marabic.
Marabesh.
Yeah. I will accept both of those. They're calling them Maraglyphics.
Oh, no, it's okay. I have the font, and it's called Marabic, like Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was always told Marabesh, too. It's like
I'd never heard that one.
Never.
That's funny.
Yeah.
On the Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, you team up with Spidey and the students of Worldwide Engineering Brigade to wrangle malfunctioning, mischievous spider bots. You visit several locations within Avengers Campus using the intricate underground network of tunnels found inside the old Stark Industries facility that now houses Web. Which of these locations is not one that you visit during Web Slingers? Avengers Headquarters, Ancient Sanctum, Pym Test Kitchen, or the Collector's Fortress? You want those again?
The Collector's Fortress, I think. Oh, no, that's not right.
Okay, Avengers Headquarters, Ancient Sanctum, Pym Test Kitchen, or Collector's Fortress?
I don't think you go to the Test Kitchen.
Yeah, I'm going with the Test Kitchen, but I could be wrong.
Everybody
got it right.
in the chat is saying not the Ancient Sanctum.
Well, who's right?
Everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
I've only been on the ride like 3 times.
One time.
At Disney California Adventure, Radiator Springs welcomes guests from across the interstates to celebrate the racing world of Disney and Pixar's cars. When you visit Mater's Junkyard and take a whirlwind spin with a group of tractors on Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, which of these songs does Mater not play? Welcome to Radiator Springs, Let's Go Driving, Piston Cup Boogie, or Radiator Rock. Those were Welcome to Radiator Springs, Let's Go Driving, Piston Cup Boogie, and Radiator Rock. This one's harder because
I hate when they do
does it play the same songs?
Yeah.
I'm going to go
time?
with, like, Welcome to Radiator Springs, and I'm probably wrong, but yeah.
Okay, so Jeff says Welcome to Radiator Springs.
What was the second one?
Let's Go Driving.
That one.
Okay, Let's Go Driving is what Well, we've got.
Owen.
I think we have almost everything on the.
Everything's
chat,
on the chat.
so,
Right.
It is Piston Cup Boogie.
Yeah. All right.
Ah!
Disneyland Park first opened its gates on July 17th, 1955. Who bought the first admission ticket to Disneyland? Was it Richard Sherman, Dick Van Dyke, Walt Disney, or Roy Disney?
It was Roy.
It
Jeff?
has to be Roy.
Roy? It was
Yeah,
Roy.
I'm going with Sean. Roy.
Good job. Disney California Adventure opened on February 8th, 2001. When walking down Buena Vista Street, you come across Carthay Circle Restaurant. What is the significance of Carthay Circle Theater in Disney history?
Mm-hmm.
It was. Oh,
That's
no,
where
sorry.
Snow White was shown.
Yeah, I forgot you were going to do multiple choice,
That's
but
okay.
it's where Snow White was premiered.
Yes, it was the theater at which Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first full-length animated feature, premiered. It was not Walt and Roy's favorite place to dine in Los Angeles.
Yeah, unless
They
they
really like popcorn.
Although, to be fair, Walt Disney, and I feel kind of vindicated by this, by the way, Walt Disney loved a good hot dog.
Yeah, true.
Which
We
you can
keep
get at
going-
most theaters.
Sean and I keep going back and forth on whether we should go to the Tam O'Shanter's Disney table experience because they give you the choice of what Walt would have ordered or what they're most known for. And I'm like, if I'm at the Tam O'Shanter, I want to get what they're most known for because the stuff that Walt would have ordered is kind of
so
chili dogs and
yeah,
stuff.
Walt liked really basic stuff. And so, like, his idea, his favorite chili, Walt's favorite chili, was 2 cans of different chili brands mixed together.
Yeah.
I mean, he was not a
He was not a gourmet.
gourmet, yeah.
And the other fun trivia fact about hot dogs for Walt is that he would use the time it would take for him to eat a hot dog as to how far you would be to throw away the trash. So from
That's
whatever
a good-
the hot dog the hot dog cart is to the trash can. That's why there's that much space between trash cans at Disneyland.
Right.
That works.
And there's one more hot dog related piece of trivia, which is Walt used to get his dogs excited and to accomplish things by waving a hot dog in front of them as a tease, and then they'd come running and he would give them the hot dog. And so when he was designing Disneyland, he wanted to make sure in each area when you first went into Disneyland and you looked around, you saw what he called a weenie. And so the weenie would be something like the TWA Moonliner that would get people into Tomorrowland, or the castle at the end of Main Street was a weenie. It was always kind of funny because Walt would sit there, they would show him a design for something, he'd go like, okay, well, where's the weenie?
Yeah.
I have a fact too because I was feeling left out.
Sure.
But I didn't know it. I looked it up, so it may be completely wrong because it's part of the AI interview that first comes up in Google.
Right, she might be.
Mickey Mouse's first spoken words in the 1929 short The Carnival Kid were hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Nice.
Now I'll have to look it up later to see if it's actually real.
Yeah, see.
Peeking above the
It
spires.
makes sense for the other song.
Yeah. Peeking above the spires of Sleeping Beauty Castle is the mountain housing the iconic Matterhorn bobsleds, which opened in 1959. Yes. Which other 2 attractions debuted at Disneyland that year? Was it Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and the Mad Tea Party? Was it the Submarine Voyage and Disneyland Monorail? Was it Disneyland Monorail and Space Mountain? Or was it Submarine Voyage and Mad Tea Party? I would like to say that I remember one of those rides opening, and it was not in 1959. So,
yeah. I'm pretty sure Eric's correct. I know this already. It's Subs and Mono.
Okay. It is Subs and Monorail.
it's really funny because I'm surprised that one of those listed wasn't the Skyway.
Yeah, that's what Rose said too. I thought it was funny that they had Space Mountain as one of the choices. I'm
No.
like, well, you can clear out that
From
one
the
because
70s.
Space Mountain opened at the
Right.
70s.
Do you guys remember when they were building Space Mountain and they had blocked that whole area off? They took their architectural model and they put it in a case and put a plexiglass panel in front of it and had it mounted in the wall so that you could walk up to it and see what was going to be there from their actual architectural model. It was so cool. I loved that as a kid.
Oh, man.
The Skyway opened in
I moved,
1956, which was 3 years
I moved
earlier.
to Southern California in 80. Sorry, Colleen.
So the Skyway opened in 1956, 3 years earlier than the submarine and the monorail.
Right. So you moved here in 1980, Jeff?
Yeah.
And what was
I wouldn't have seen the Plexi.
When was your first trip to Disneyland?
I think that year, actually. I think it was 1980. That
Oh,
we went.
okay.
I
Wow.
remember going on like the People Mover, and it had the it still had the speed tunnel,
Yeah.
and the Journey to Inner Space was still there. Of course.
Right.
I went on the Skyway. You could still go on the rockets up on the platform.
Oh God, the rocket jets were so amazing.
Yeah. So there was a lot that was still there. I don't know. I don't know if the I think Fantasyland was probably still in its older phase. I don't know if they had updated it by then. I can't remember.
No, that was the mid
like when
1980s that happened. They shut everything
Yeah.
down. My first trip to Disneyland was in like 1971, I think. We had come out here for vacation, and yeah, I remember so much from that trip. But I also have a very skewed memory of it because I couldn't see anything. So my eyes when I was a kid were beyond 2200 with glasses. So I experienced Disneyland, but unless it was very, very large, like I don't remember details. Like I remember Monstro because he was huge. And I remember the old Skull Island and Peter Pan and stuff because it was gigantic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We went on the Tom Sawyer Island. I remember being outside the Matterhorn and throwing up, because I was a kid. And
Right. Laura posted a question that said, do people know why the cast members use a 2-finger point if they have to point towards something, or they use a whole hand gesture?
I do it myself.
Yes, and
Well,
most of us do that, actually, if you've been at Disneyland
I have a
for
reason
any
for it.
time. So, but it's
I don't. Popo.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm being attacked.
Oh,
I have a personal thing that's not necessarily probably the reason I do it as opposed to anyone else was 2 fingers point, just because a lot of cultures don't they don't like the single finger pointing. It's like it's rude or whatever.
right, and
so I used to.
That's why Disney does it. Yeah, and it's because a single finger point is rude. A dual finger point or a whole open hand is better. And as somebody who has been going to Disneyland for a really long time and frequently gives directions to people, I do that too. And that's a sure sign that you've been at Disneyland way too much.
You'd think that Jeff would have received that training, that information and training.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Nope. Yeah, when I worked there 30 years ago too, that was not really a thing, but it was more when I was started doing Han Solo and such, and I knew about, and I was like the pointing thing. I'm like I knew about pointing again. So like about a year into doing this pointing as Han Solo, I just switched to 2,
right?
Because I knew the reasoning, but I was trying to stay in character. Then I'm like, no, that's dumb. I'll go to 2.
Well, it works better for you when you do Han Solo because you are emulating his blaster when you point. Usually, because where you would normally hold a blaster, you're sort of doing this point, and having the dual fingers works really well. I have a lot
yeah.
of people ask me where the restrooms are all the time or how to get to something. Although, Jeff and I had a major fail. I feel bad about this. We had a major fail yesterday where somebody came up to us and said, "Hey, when is the next parade?" And neither one of us looked neither one of us looked like we worked there. And we thought that the parade was at 10:05, which had passed. It was actually at 10:50. Yeah. And so we told the people that there wasn't going to be another parade. Yeah.
Oh, well.
I only hope that they heard the loudspeaker announcement that they made because that would have fixed the problem.
It wasn't soon after we said anything anyway.
Right.
They could have just walked up the people that were all the people sitting for the parade.
Yeah, I don't know why they asked us. Maybe they saw the plaid of my kilt and thought I was official. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, because I've been doing like the other stuff like Phantasmic now too, it's like I'm getting the times confused, because I'm doing both. So, and I'm like, oh, I gotta remember this now. I think I remember.
So, did you guys hear about that absolutely insane cruise ship rescue that happened on the Disney cruise ship?
Hey, did we finish the quiz?
No, but we don't have enough time to finish it, so...
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we finished the quiz.
No, you guys just went off on another tangent,
so
I was waiting for you to finish your tangent.
Finish the quiz. You should have reminded us that that's the thing.
Well, but we don't have enough time to cover the topics. There's only 15 minutes left in the show, so we
but we only have like 2 topics. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
At Avengers Campus, the dining options are displayed on giant cell phones that Ant-Man and the Wasp turned into a digital menu board. Can I tell you that I never realized that's what that was supposed to be?
Oh, yeah, completely.
Didn't get it.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like giant iPhones.
What was the name of the service provider displayed on the cell phones? It's the company that Scott Lang was imprisoned for burgling at the start of the first film.
Oh...
Do you want the clues?
I mean,
yeah.
Do you know it, Jeff?
Oh man, yeah, I don't remember. No,
Harbulary Data.
That's not coming.
Harbulary Data, VistaCorp, AM&W, or Stark Wireless.
VistaCorp.
Yep. You can meet up with some of your favorite characters at Pixar Pier. In Toy Story Midway Mania, you are awarded virtual prizes at the end of the game. At the end of the game that are featured in which Pixar Pier location? I couldn't find the question in that. So in Toy Story Midway Mania, what is the Pixar Pier location that you are awarded prizes at the end of the game? Is it Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind, Bullseye Stallion Stampede, Jesse's Critter Carousel, or Midway Mercantile?
Oh, it's got to be the Midway Mercantile.
Jeff?
I guess. Yeah, I mean...
It's Jesse's Critter Carousel.
Really? That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
I figured Rose would know this.
They're virtual prizes.
Yeah, but none of those is a store except the Mercantile. You would think it would be a place that might actually award you a prize.
Yeah.
You don't get to take a carousel.
But the Mercantile isn't a game. So I didn't know that the carousel was a game either, but whatever. Apart from the mind-blowing attractions and nostalgia that spans generations, one of the best parts of Disneyland is the delectable food. Kat Sokka's Kettle and Docking Bay 7 in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge serves which 2 menu items that are exclusive to that land in Disneyland? Is it buttered blue popcorn and spicy Takadana Sunrise? Is it chocolate popcorn with crate red salt and cold brew black calf? Is it Outpost mix popcorn and boba blue milk tea? Or is it sweet pineapple popcorn and Endorian Ewok elixir?
It's not the last 2.
So if you just think about which popcorn can you get at Kat Sokka's?
Yeah,
Is it buttered blue popcorn? Is it chocolate popcorn with crate red salt?
Yeah, it's the one with that one with the pepper stuff on it. Yeah, or whatever it is, spicy salt.
Chocolate popcorn with crate red salt and cold brew black calf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Final question.
Yeah.
And I believe that this question is not correct. So the spires atop. This is a D23 quiz.
Yeah, but we have caught them
Yeah.
with bad quizzes on the Disney app.
Well, this one I believe is incorrect. The spires atop Sleeping Beauty Castle are covered in a gleaming 22-karat gold finish. Which other Disneyland attraction sports luxurious gold leaf? Oh, I guess it is correct.
Okay.
Which one of these, not name all the rides in the park that have it? Is it Small World, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Mark Twain Riverboat, or Matterhorn bobsleds?
Given
Mark
those
Twain.
choices, I think it's Small World.
And it is Small World.
But you could also say
Star Tours.
I believe that the Opera House also has gold leaf on
but
the
also
inside.
doesn't Star Tours have gold?
No.
I was
thought-
pretty
thought-
pretty dang sure that the Mark Twain had the gold leaf under the gold parts.
No,
but maybe not.
I mean, it might, but there's a lot of gold paint on the Mark Twain. And it may not be 22 karat gold. I mean, maybe it's some really specific thing. So the new sign went up, by the way, at the Opera House that has the Walt Disney attraction and Mr. Lincoln's attraction. And the OCD guy in me is a little put off because the part that says Walt Disney, they didn't kern their letters on the sign. So it's W space ALT, and it's just enough to bug the crap out of me. It's really nuts.
Well, it's like the gold they used on the Walt one and the gold they used on Lincoln kind of matched, but the one in the middle did.
They are slightly different.
It
And in fact, I'll show you this. I'll show you this sign really quick over on the video and see if you can spot the problem. And honestly, it's really minor. It's just my hang up for sure. But so here's
I wonder if Chanticleer is gold too.
They say
just
in
paint?
the AI tells me that It's a Small World, Sleeping Beauty Castle, and King Arthur Carousel also are the rides that have gold leaf.
Okay. Well, and the Opera House isn't really a ride, but if you look at this picture that I'm showing you right here, there's all sorts of gold like all over the front of the Opera House.
But is it gold paint or is it gold leaf?
It's gold leaf.
Oh, okay.
It's gold leaf. So
yeah. There's a rooster which I assume is Chanticleer over Plaza Inn that's gold, and I'm wondering if that's gold leaf too, but who knows?
We have 7 minutes left in the show, and there are 3 topics that Sean advertised before the show started.
Okay. Well, first things first. That kind of amazing Disney cruise rescue. There was a little 4-year-old child who was playing in a window. It was like a porthole with a railing. The parents were playing shuffleboard. They were right next to the kid, but the kid climbed up there. The parents didn't put it there. Kid climbed up there and fell off the ship.
Oh my gosh.
The dad jumped over the rail, caught the kid, treaded water till they got a tender out there. The ship stopped, turned around, went and got him. They sent a tender out to pick him up. They're both fine. Just absolutely amazing. That could have ended so badly.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal that they managed to get back to the little girl and like saved her, and like, you know, he managed to tread water for like 10-15 minutes, whatever it took to go back and get them. Ships do not stop and turn around quickly. It takes like a mile to stop a ship. Anyway, everybody cheered, and it was amazing, and it's like if you're gonna go on a cruise, travel with those people.
Right.
Yeah. Man, jeez.
Somebody said it was a once in a
that's
lifetime experience. I hope I never get to see again.
Yeah. Oh, horrible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Keep going, Sean.
There's a
Got 5
Disney
minutes.
Oh,
Plus
the Lucky Rabbit.
Disney Plus series coming up called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. If you know, Oswald was the precursor to Mickey Mouse, and he got stolen out from under Walt by the distribution company, and I think ended up with Universal Studios at one point. And so there's a Jon Favreau series that's being put together about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and they have just cast people in it. So it's Roger Rabbit. It's half live action, half animated, apparently. And so Ravi Cabot-Conyers is in it. Michelle Harris is in it, and Ryder Allen is the outlying person without a hyphenated name in this cast.
See,
Ravi Cabot-Conyers you saw most recently as Wim in Skeleton Crew. He was the main little boy in Skeleton Crew. And so he's going to be cast as a character named Jake. He's a middle school student. And Michelle Harris is playing a character named Jen, who's an art student. And then Taylor is a middle schooler played by Ryder Allen. And so, like, they're casting sort of the humans in it. And see how it goes. But Oswald goes way back to 1927. So this should be out just in time for the 100th anniversary of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And then, one last thing.
Exactly.
If you
cool.
If you were looking forward to the Fantastic Four movie coming out, which actually looks pretty good, and I love the design style they're taking. Just full disclosure, like, I think my very favorite superhero movie is The Incredibles, and The Incredibles is a total ripoff of the Fantastic Four. And because this is coming after The Incredibles, it's almost like this is a ripoff of The Incredibles, as they do the same kind of style for everything. There are a whole bunch of things that you can get now that are tie-ins to it that are food related. Like Little Caesars has a fantastic 4-in-1 pizza that has like 4 different toppings on the same pizza, and comes in
I just want the
cool.
box.
Yeah, it comes in cool Fantastic Four box stuff, which is really neat. There's some Snapple stuff that's coming out. I can't even believe Snapple is still a thing. I can't remember the last time I had a Snapple. So they've got characters and pictures on their stuff. This stuff, I actually have some of these. I bought Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms. I actually sort of have this old 1960s box, which is really cool. So they went old General Mills, and they're doing this really old Lucky Charms thing with the Fantastic Four thing in the bottom. And then on the back, you get a secret decoder, which is really fun. You can like cut it out and do it. So that's really fun. And then in addition to that, there are Pop-Tarts that have the pictures of the characters on it that are printed on the Pop-Tarts, which is really neat. Oh, and the blue milk is back, but this time it's berry flavored. You remember the True Moo blue milk for Star Wars? Now they have fantastic berry milk that's back.
Bizarre.
Which is kind of strange. So, yeah, these guys don't talk about the Pop-Tarts even. So, Pop-Tarts, if you go to Walmart, they have the blue raspberry flavor. Otherwise, look for the strawberry flavor. And on the icing, they have printed the characters from the Fantastic Four and their logos and stuff, which is really fun. So, if you like that sort of stuff, I think it's pretty neat.
I like Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts are great. And I think that was everything I teased at the beginning.
Awesome.
So that said,
perfectly brought that in right at the top of the hour.
right? So if all y'all are still with us, thanks for hanging out this late. To you guys who subscribed and oh my gosh, donating subscriptions to people and stuff. That's you guys are crazy, but we're grateful, and we're glad that you guys hang out with us every Thursday night. We are starting our 14th year doing this, which is crazy, and hopefully we will continue to be entertaining.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
It will be something. This is Joe Soul of Donoho.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
All right, and I'll give a credit screen for you people over here on the video. If our theme is by Cosmomoose, by the way. You can go to cosmomoose.bandcamp.com, and he's got all sorts of really great music that he puts together. Nerd stuff, big surprise.
Yeah.
So go and check that out. And you guys on the video or on the radio, I'm usually on the air from 9 to 11, Monday through Friday on sci-fi.radio. I will be off the air tomorrow because, of course, it is Independence Day. Please be safe. If you're doing fireworks and stuff, be really, really, really careful. Better yet, go watch somebody's professional fireworks show and let them be dangerous. Or find a drone show or find something cool to do. And, don't risk scaring your animals either. So if you take care of your animals tomorrow too, if you've got them, because it gets pretty hairy with everybody setting fireworks off. But I hope you have a good Independence Day, and then we will see you next Thursday where we do this again, and I'll be back on Good Morning Tatooine on sci-fi.radio at 9 a.m. Pacific on Monday. So I'm taking tomorrow off. Thanks, everybody. Really glad to have you.
Night.
Okay, bye. Good night, kids.